I think we're about as good as we're going to get. Okay, Merlin, you can't step on my keyboard.
I bet you can.
Yeah, he's trying. Okay, there's your switches. There's your love. Get the fuck down.
Well, I mean, you know, it works.
Oh, I need it. Oh, no. It's saying your live stream's offline.
That might have been what my phone was about, saying she went live again. Yeah, looks like it. That you went live again.
Yep. Your live stream's offline. Yep. Okay, we're back.
Somebody loaded it up. That might have been what my phone was about.
That's me.
Yeah, looks like it. That you went live again.
All right.
You don't think she's one of the angels? Or a Nephilim? Why? Okay.
I haven't read the manga, so I vote for a toad monster. Kitty.
It's not a world I know that well. And, you know. half the time, if it's not something that they actually say in the show or in the manga that I'm currently reading, I just kind of gloss over it with the, it's anime.
That's kind of how I am. I either enjoy something or I don't.
I think I watched the 4.
Yeah, I stopped at 4 because I would have just trained the whole thing if I kept going. Hello. I don't think that was Google chat, was it?
No, it was on the YouTubes.
Oh, wait a minute. We have someone in there. No, we have somebody else in there. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. It's something Isk.
Oh, we're all talking to each other. How nice.
Yeah.
We are professionals.
We're nothing but pros on this channel. High quality. You know, it's not like we're using low-end equipment or nothing. Mur, don't put your tail in my coffee.
Yeah.
I don't think we can take a break quite yet. Although I can see the end of my coffee cup too.
For me, watching the first part of your live in April was rather interesting because I actually know where the story goes. Through watching something else. So I don't necessarily know the path it takes, but I know where it ends. Which apparently is also something if you watch movies in Japan. Was rewatching one of Akasan's videos, and they were talking about the different trailers spoiling basically the ending of the movie. Culturally, it's not about the ending, but the journey. But yeah, I actually know where the story goes. without having seen it before. So it's kind of interesting seeing how it builds up to that.
She has cancer. She dies.
Posting spoiler warning just in case anybody actually watches this in the future.
Spoiler.
It's
I
too much
can't
effort.
put one on mine. He'd have to put one on his. He's the only one with
I don't
background.
invite too much effort. But basically what happens is that little girl you saw in the very beginning during his piano concert, that was actually her. Yeah, that one's not that big a spoil. But yeah, that was the violinist. And the reason why she became a violinist and was going to this competition specifically was to get him to pick up playing again. It kind of a bootstrap. Not really, but along the same idea. And that was her purpose. She was dying. She already knew that she was dying. And it actually ends up being, by the way, his mother is almost to the level of Shinji Ikari's father.
I kind of gathered that by the beginning.
Yeah.
You'll get there at some point.
One of those really good not parents. Or really not good parents. Might be a better way to phrase those words.
Yeah. It's we're talking about Evangelion. And that's...
But he realizes that she dies at the end during the last performance. It is a very it's a drama. It's an uplifting and depressing series. Does that make sense? Yes. It's slice of life. It's let's see. Well, that's something else. That's a different kind of thing. That's a soap opera. Let's see. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Yeah, I shortened it down the second time.
And
it was only 27 and a half minutes.
And you not liking arcs, that was a perfectly valid reason for not wanting to watch the show. But honestly, you shouldn't be sorry for that.
I've heard a lot of people throw a fit because you drop an anime because you don't like the animation.
So some of that is the stylistic, and you will see similar instances of that kind of animation depending on what series you watch. Some use a lot more than others.
Well, it was real bad in that one because of the changeover going on.
Well, usually if it's more realistic art style, then it can be much more jarring. That is certainly a fact. Mhm. Yeah. I bet you will.
Well,
Oh well. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm trying to remember who did Your Lie in April. It wasn't Madhouse.
Publishing wise,
Yeah.
I actually opened it up to look at the genres. Aniplex.
That's in the USA. I was talking about who made it.
It's actually been translated a few different ones.
There's the manga. I need the anime. Oh, A1 Pictures. Yeah. Usually A1 does a pretty good job, though. And this is such a mash of different styles that it really bothered me.
For me, I didn't watch any more than the four. Just it's not my type of anime. It for me, I watch things for enjoyment. So whether it's the greatest or the worst, and, even on Anime News Network, it's not gotten perfect reviews. So each person just have different ones that they prefer.
Oh, yeah.
And absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, from a drummer perspective, it was a little on the high end side, where the Devil is Part Timer was more of a haha, funny, funny.
Yeah. So should we add Berserk to our list?
Berserk?
Well, it's got more nitty gritty.
You can put it on there, but it's so hard for me to watch it.
I want to put it on there. I don't want to watch that thing again. It's not. I'm not going to watch it again. You are more welcome to watch it on your own time.
I can watch a couple episodes.
I would recommend you not watch it at work.
Yeah.
Let's just say that there is. I want to say that there's more blood in that show than. Not at all. That's why I'm saying it. I think there's more blood in that show than the entire hospital I work at uses in a day. That is a lot of blood.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching Fist of the North Star, or.
And in all honesty, I found Elfen Lied to be a better show in general. I actually did find Elfen Lied a better show. I've got friends that enjoy Berserk quite a bit. Elven Lied's another one of those, has an awful lot of blood.
And there's nudity in that one now, so she definitely can't watch that at work.
Pardon?
There's nudity in Elfen Lied.
Except in Elven Lied, it's not, sexual. Can't necessarily say that about Berserk, but Berserk definitely has a lot more.
Yeah, Berserk's like Game of Thrones.
I would rate Berserk much more than Game of Thrones. Hey, Rosie?
It's going to be a real short anime then.
Is that okay? What you need to do is watch the first 2 minutes and then stop. And you'll cover that.
It's going to open with you see a cage, and when you see the cage is ripped apart, just stop it there. That's the end of the anime for you.
But it's the only way to describe it.
That's about all you can see.
Okay. Because, we're the group that can't ever stay on topic for anything. Let's go. Berserk is a, based in medieval, it deals with these demons that have decided to come in and play. It deals with nudity, it deals with rape, it deals with war and carnage and more blood than can exist in a person. No.
No, think a Splatterhouse film, and you're getting closer to it.
You're getting closer. The Bronze Age one.
I think the easiest way to explain it is imagine a tanker truck full of blood, and then attach a hose to it and empty out the entire tank in 3 seconds.
There you get an action scene.
Yeah.
Elven Lied is... Honestly, I would say Elven Lied has a lot more story, at least portrayed in the anime. I don't know what the Berserk remake's like, but... Well, they tend to be more truthful in the remakes, and so it'll be even worse. But Elven Lied, at the beginning there is, nudity, there is blood, but unlike Berserk and a lot of other shows, it's not necessarily sexualized. That makes sense? But there is definitely a lot of blood, head twisting, and arm twisting.
Yeah, there's lots of violence in that one.
Only at points. I like the story of that one, at least when I last saw it.
Yeah, well, there's worse things out there.
Absolutely.
Yes, we were talking about that earlier. I asked him for that photo.
Would you like me to put a happier face on it?
I want to have looking at you either.
No. Let me pull up the right thing.
Well, yeah, that's a killer.
That would not be Okay, well, let's go on with Kenshin.
Do we have 2 hours?
Well, I can cut it down. Well, it's because I'm currently in a mid.
This first version of it would be Samurai with split personality comes in. Oh, you're just going to start throwing all the anime out, aren't you?
I mean, it's a happier face as long as you don't look at it too hard.
That is not something you ever want to hear coming from a girl. Bend over so I can see your face.
Okay, you know what? I'll put one a little...
Push hard, really.
There. Here's one that's a little more happy, maybe a little more obscure.
Oh, crap. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Rurouni Kenshin is one of the first anime I watched. It's about a. Okay, you know, a samurai is almost equivalent to like a English knight. It's not a good translation, but close enough. A ronin is basically a samurai who's lost his leader or fallen away from his leader. As a wanderer or a vagabond, they're not the most socially accepted characters. And that's who that was. He actually used to be an assassin. And there's a bit of blood in that one, but not as much as like in the prequel version of it. Yeah, by the way,
the first anime we watched.
For me, but Kenshin and Dragon Ball, I want to say, were the first two.
Wow. I am an old man. First, yeah. I'm gonna date myself a little bit here. The very first anime I watched was Cats. It's not Do You Remember Love?
Cats?
Cross Plus.
Okay.
And the second one I ever watched was Ranma Half.
I could never get into that one. I've tried.
It's hard to stay in that one. That's one of the things. You watch the first season and you can skip the other 9 because it's the same thing over and over. You pretty much.
Except I think the manga's actually that way too. I've tried reading it. It doesn't go anywhere.
I've read, that was one of them that I actually did manage to read the manga. That was when I was much younger and the dyslexia wasn't as bad.
Oh, yeah.
I'm old.
That one does not look good at all.
Yeah, a little squished and stretched.
Yeah, it kind of.
A lot of the animes that I watch, it's probably going to be a little early for you guys.
Guys? That's maybe jumping it.
The generic term.
I'll go back to this one.
I use guys as a generic, much like I use dude.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the fact, too early for me. Yes, but I've been watching anime for a little bit longer than you.
That and a lot of the stuff that I watch is primarily dumpster fire.
I can't get into it. Well, some of it I can. Uh-huh. I still need to come up with a list I need to suggest for you.
To add to the list?
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. Let me bring up the list.
There's a lot of neat anime out there. There's a lot of bad anime out there.
Oh, there's a ton. I just had criteria that I was going with. I was trying to make it work friendly.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, that's why that list is so short.
Depending on speakers. Yeah, a lot of anime has that reaction.
Well, I forgot there was a boob shot in the beginning.
Whoops. Probably means no Evangelion at work either.
No, I'm the jelly. I don't work either.
Though to be fair, as long as you cut out the intro and outro, it's not too bad. For most of it.
I lost my stupid program. Oh, I didn't actually.
It's got it back because I'm not any good at it. They just need to update the OBS or something with it. That doesn't seem right. So here's another question. You know, was he the same as what he was before?
Oh, forget it. Make a new program.
So he might have just been the same as he was before he left SWO.
That's possible. Okay, what was the name of that anime you wanted to attack on?
Van Dread's another one.
Van Dread?
Mm-hmm. Maybe one old enough you haven't seen.
Oh, I've seen it. It's not going to be something you can watch at work, Rose.
Okay.
There's a lot of sexual overtones in that.
There are overtones in that. I don't want that. The best way I can describe that anime is boys versus girls taken to the extreme.
It is a very good anime. It's just one of those that it didn't make the list because criteria.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of ones I enjoyed from recent that would be, work safe. It's like, because I've actually dropped out of watching a lot of anime. Just time and other things to watch. You've been what? Instead of posting in the videos, watching NCIS?
She hit burnout.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Long and short, she was just overworked.
Yeah. I saw it coming. Nope.
Oh, Van Dread's not on there. I'm going to have to find it somewhere else. I bet it's not.
Oh. Oh. Actually, let me open my Crunchyroll, see if that has anything in my queue.
Or you can just say how much that we suck because we don't like the anime that you like. And your wife is the.
Actually, Van Dread's on Crunchyroll.
I don't have a Crunchyroll account.
You can. It's free. It's just being dumb recently. But yeah, I'm looking at my list. My top ones on my queue, not in any particular order for any reason. Kill la Kill, Black Bullet, Trinity 7, Kenshin, Demon King, Plastic Memories. All ones that probably aren't very work safe. Oh, Demon Bane. There we go. That's a good one. Or a Final Fantasy VII abridged.
Ugh.
It's pretty good. Oh, look. Here's more ones I can't recommend watching at work.
I've got a pile that she can't watch at work.
Well, I mean, there's Alderman on the Sky is one that she could. It's not bad, but I don't know if it's one I'd recommend as a beginner. There's Death Note. That's a pretty good one. Makes your head hurt.
I never really thought it was all that complicated. I heard
Which
a lot of
one?
people say that, where it's like,
Oh,
oh, Death Note is such a mind screw. And I'm like, no.
the Alderman or Death Note? Eh.
So the ones that I watch on a regular basis, she wouldn't really get into. Like I said, I watch a lot of dumpster trash.
And said I've got some of that on here.
It's like rewatching High School DxD just because the third season's coming out next month.
Oh yeah, that's real good for work.
Yeah, it's real good if you want it fired.
Hey, to be fair, I've watched some anime like that when I was at work, but it wasn't where I'm working now, and it had no bearing on that. Well, it had no bearing on me, changing jobs. Akashic Records, but again, that's not exactly what I would call work safe.
Yeah,
I mean anime, but not really work safe.
Yeah, and I was trying to keep it fairly work safe because she tends to watch some at work. So, hence the reason the list was the list and not much longer and broken down into types. Well, if I knew you weren't going to be watching it at work, it would have been a novel and it would have been broken down into sections. I can make another list.
The problem is, in a lot of ways, that I hate the phrase,
You're
but
so
sex
jumping the
sells.
shark. You should probably just kill the feed and we should just yap.
Is the problem comes in with a lot of it is the line "sex sells."
Yeah.
It's a truism, unfortunately, in this world, and so a lot of the anime are going to have that kind of thing to some extent. Uh-huh.
And if we're not back by next week, watch the next 4 episodes. 4 a week, it'll be fine. Eventually, we will get to it if it's the end of the season. See you next time. Body shock.